Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
And I'm Will.
And today, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear a little laughter in my voice. It is literally because I literally was talking about something that we're going to talk on the show, and I said all of it before we even got on the show, so I'm going to have to repeat all of it again. So,
I mean, just so y'all
buckle up, guys.
Just so y'all know, just for the fun of it, shits and giggles, I sat there quietly waiting for him to see how long it would take him to realize that he was going to have to say the exact same thing all over again.
All over again. And you know
I
what?
was about to say that, but I just let you keep talking because I was getting educated.
No, and it's funny though, because like when I actually caught myself when I'm done, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to say this again. It's okay, because I remember it. It's fine. But yes, if you have not, been following us, if you've never been listening to the show and this is your first time, welcome. We have plenty of episodes and plenty of interviews. We just got finished doing one with Christina Ho, so we hope you enjoyed it.
She was a pleasure to have on our show.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yep. And all the positive, feedback that I know that we've gotten from it and everything. So, keep listening and, just subscribe. If you know other people that you might think might be interested, let them know. Like, hey,
tell a friend.
Listen to this podcast if you like Power Rangers. You know what I'm saying? Let's
share the wealth. Share the wealth. There's plenty of us to go around.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say all that. Because, there's not plenty of me to go around. I mean,
Brennan, we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. So I think,
Okay, all right.
Audio voices. There's plenty of us.
Fine. Okay, there is plenty of us to go around. Okay, fine.
Also, that was my segue to it. It worked out so well.
Oh my gosh. I can't with you.
My segue into telling you guys to subscribe to all of those platforms. Wow. I nailed it.
Yes. Nailed it.
But yes.
I could have.
And yes, do all those things if you haven't already. Do it now. We'll wait.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, I mean, we won't wait for you. But I mean, you can definitely pause the show and then, go and do those things and then come right back and continue on listening. Exactly. Now, we do have some comments, because we got some little shout outs. You know what I'm saying? We got some shout outs.
We love our shout outs. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, we got Derek Hervey. You know what I'm saying? So, he commented on a couple videos of ours. One of the comments that he said was, "It's been a little bit since I sent a chime y'all's way, so keep the more phenomenal flowing peeps. All the love always." Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. When I saw that, I was like, that's right. You have been awfully quiet on us. What the heck? We love to hear from you. So yes,
absolutely,
all the time. Just send those little messages over. We are reading them. We see them.
We do. And the thing is, it's like I just get so happy when I just be seeing people comment. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Also, Brian Weaver also commented on the
SoundCloud.
On YouTube. Commented on YouTube, but he also commented on SoundCloud too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we see you, Brian. Don't worry.
So we see you. We see you.
Yep.
He commented on YouTube about the Christina Ho interview, and he wrote, "I would love to." I think he meant I would love to see. He omitted C. "I would love to see Betty be a Pink Ranger in the near future." You know what? That we actually talked about that, and on the show. I would have because originally, the rumor came out that she was supposed to be green, but honestly though, I would have loved to have seen her like wear the spandex in the show, or at least them giving us like kind of like a little teaser when they called Scrozzle in the end, kind of like giving us a teaser of them like actually wearing like the Morphex, the Beast X Morpher or something, just to kind of be like, oh yeah, her and her brother Ben actually did become Rangers, and that's how they ended up catching Scrozzle. That would have been really cool to see. At least give them a little teaser.
Exactly. That would have been so cute. And plus, like, you know what? I think in my mind though, I've always saw Christina as a Ranger, even though I actually personally didn't hear those rumors myself of them becoming Rangers. The intro was actually the first time I heard of these rumors.
I definitely remember seeing those rumors on Twitter around the time that the show was on, and I was really hoping that her and Ben would have been Rangers, even if it was just for a little while in the second season. That would have been really cool to see, because I always liked those characters. You can go back and listen to some of our old reviews of Beast Morphers. I always really saw potential with those two, and I just they didn't do as much as they could have with them.
And if they did give Benny and Betty like actual Ranger suits, I would have loved Ben to actually be the one wearing it, not the whole muscular dude in the end. Like, you know how they morph Justin from like a child to like a grown ass man. I don't want that. I wouldn't have.
Yeah, that would have been really cool to see and different, because we've never seen that before.
Exactly. And the only like Ranger that we got was but it wasn't even like, I wouldn't say not televised. Real. Yeah, it would be Skull's, no, not Skull, Bulk's character on Power Rangers Hyperforce.
Jack, the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah, so that would have been nice to see televised, like to have like Ben be a Ranger.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what they'll do in the future? It'd be really cool to see a Ranger with a different body type.
I agree. Like, I agree. But I think they probably won't do it unless they hire a new stunt team.
No, I mean they could do it. They could probably do it. I think because, like, honestly, because even with Beast with Dino Fury, those guys are wearing like bodysuits underneath. Like some of them you can kind of tell they're wearing like muscular bodysuits. So just to kind of like feel them out. So it wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden like they kind of like added like a more padding to like round them out to like make them look a little bit bigger. It wouldn't surprise me, because I mean they've done it in Sentai several times. As a matter of fact, with Jetman, this 2 seasons before Zyuranger, which was my Morphin, Jetman, the Yellow Ranger, Yellow Owl, was a big guy. And so the guy who does the Yellow Owl stunts is actually, I believe, the same stunt double that was used for the Yellow Ranger in Mighty Morphin. So all they did was just added padding to make them bigger. Just to like round them out, to give them more of like a stomach and all of that, just to make them, look a little bit bigger. The same thing was done in, what was that? Kyoryuger with Kyoryu Cyan, which is the same for Power Rangers Dino Charge with the Aqua Ranger, Tyler's dad. Mm-hmm. His stunt double on the show, like his character was actually done by a big, heavyset, big white guy. Like they actually had a white guy in the show who spoke fluent Japanese, and like he was one of the Rangers, and he was a big guy. And when he would morph, basically what would happen is like when he would morph, it was almost kind of like his stomach would get sucked into the suit. So they kind of like flatten him down, even though they still kind of like put like body like added like a body suit to him to kind of make him look bigger. Mm-hmm. They still like made it look like they were squeezing his stomach in, like sucking his stomach into the suit. So like that's like a little comedic bit that they did with Kyoruger. But yeah, like I can see if Power Rangers really wanted to do it, I think they could. Like if they really wanted to actually do a bigger character, I think they could totally do it. I think they could. But of course it would be suggested, like we said, based upon the Japanese footage, that it would have to be based on that. But they could totally do it. But yeah, okay. So that was a little education session. Harathamesh Massacre. Now, I'm so sorry, baby, if I'm mispronouncing your name. I am so sorry, baby. I apologize. He also commented and said, she is awesome in Beast Morphers. And you know what? Yes, she is. She is very good in Beast Morphers. So yeah, like those are the comments that we have on YouTube. Once again, guys, if you want, please keep commenting and we will read them on the show because we love you.
Absolutely positive. We love seeing them. It does make our day.
It really does. It really freaking does. So onward to the show. So I know last time, well, the time before last, because we had the interview last time, but the time before last, we were talking about a little piece of Kim and Tommy, being, kind of like spoiled by Amazon UK. Well, officially, they have now been revealed. What are they giving? Like, what is it giving to you guys? What do you guys think?
I think that they definitely in ninja form, they look great. I like Kimberly's face better than her original Lightning Collection figure. Tommy's face, on the other hand, looks weird. I can see where they were going for JDF, but it's off. It's even more off than like his Zeo face.
I knew you was gonna say the Zeo face. Yeah, I agree. I'm just trying to figure out what was they trying to do with the lips?
Yeah, he got some big lips.
He has some big ass lips.
I mean, he might have gotten fillers in between. It's okay.
I mean, maybe
natural these days, They're part of life, and maybe he wanted to give Kim a little bit more lips. I don't
know. I mean, I'm just sitting there looking at them like they look like them greased up Puerto Rican lips when they put on too much Carmex.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, them things are big and juicy, but no, like. I swear, like I was just like, what is going on with these lips though? They're doing the absolute most here. Like you were right though. Kimberly does at her face, like her face sculpt actually does look 10 times better this time around. I'm still kind of like trying to figure out what were they trying to do with this hair though. The hair is just doing its own thing. It's it has its own karate moves. I don't know if I'm quite here for it or not. I don't know.
I see. It looks like they were going for the same. What was it? The Ninja Quest episode. Looks like that's what they were going for, but I can see like it is going in kind of like different directions. I guess it's maybe it's supposed to be the wind.
I don't know, child. And then like her hair wasn't even that long. Like, I mean, it was long, but it wasn't that long. Like it does look a little longer. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. I guess it's a thing. I mean, like I said, it was not nearly as bad as it could have been. It wasn't as bad as, Melina Kimberly, where she was looking like she could eat your face off. It's not as bad as that. So I'm pretty sure people are going to probably buy this figure and like literally just put this head on all the heads. That is funny. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I do like this figure.
Yeah, you do?
Like I like it, and like without the Like the human heads, I could do without because I mean Kimberly's is decent, but it's not like the best, but it's decent. The human head for Tommy definitely missed it, but everything else is fine. Like even with the movie sculpts, like the movie sculpt heads, I was like, oh, these are pretty cool. Like I like these. And the TV show, obviously, it's like, well, you know, then you really can't see shit. So it's like, so it's like you can't mess up on that. So overall, like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with these figures.
So they did something that I was hoping that they wouldn't do, / I was curious about with Tommy's box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like a whole Klansman on his box. Well, you know what? They made him look gray. I'll give them that. They made him look gray.
They did. They did. They did. They made him look gray, which I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with. I'm okay with it because I was a little scared and I was a little skeptical. But I was like, now I don't want y'all to give us this white Klansman on this box.
I mean the TV show figure is bad enough, or the TV show head is bad enough because he's looking like it there.
I mean, well, yes. But listen. I mean, yes, you are correct. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. They did it. It was a thing in history that, I don't think that had they had the foresight to think ahead and be like, we probably shouldn't do this. Yeah, I don't think they would have done it. But hey, because the main thing was they didn't want the actual actors to do too much fighting anymore. So they were just trying to hide their faces, obviously. And it's like, yes, but also like, y'all should have just found another option. found something else because this ain't it.
But I did really like Kimberly's sculpture head. They did do a decent job. The hair I actually didn't mind so much either. I felt like they got the length right. Yeah, so as a whole, like, it's a cute figures. Those are cute.
I hope that we don't have to wait too much longer for Rocky and Aisha to complete the team. I'm wondering when we're going to get those two.
Right. I mean, I guess for me, the well, not scary part, but the thing is for me, it's just like these figures keep getting pushed back because 1 minute they're supposed to be released this year, then now they're saying they're not going to be released till next year. So basically, you're just putting all these pre-orders, and then basically what they're going to do, I know with Hasbro Pulse, they'll just go ahead and just hit your card, like, you know what I'm saying, like, boom, whoop, there it is. And then all of a sudden now you got these, this money coming out your account, which I'm like, oh, that's not okay. That's not cool. So I don't know. Like, it's just, to me, it was one of those things where it's like, it's tricky with pre-orders because it's just one of those things where it's like, you don't know when the actual money is going to come out for it. And you don't know when the actual toys are going to actually come out, like, when they're going to be actually available. There has been times where the toys became available earlier and, people got their stuff ahead of time. But with pre-orders, you just don't know. You just don't know. So hopefully we do end up getting Aisha and Rocky soon, and they actually come out on pre-order with everybody else versus, you having to wait, you know what I'm saying? Like freaking, you having to wait like, all the way until next year, to get your stuff. Like, that's kind of weird to me, but we'll see. As of right now, it does kind of seem like most people aren't going to get their stuff until next year, beginning of next year. So we'll see. moving right along. So, speaking of next year, what happens next year, guys? Just a thought. Just a question.
A new
What
team
happens
of
next year?
Rangers?
Ooh, yes. Ding, ding, ding. Yes. New team of Rangers.
It wasn't a trick question. We talked about this beforehand.
Damn it, Lena. You don't have to tell the people. But no, seriously. No, like we did talk about this before it. But no, like so actually next year we are going to be, getting a new team of Rangers, quote unquote, and our Power Ranger auditions will be happening again, just like they did last year for Dino Fury. So that's probably gonna be happening around about like March, April of next year, 2022, right? Mm-hmm. So of course, the people, child, got on Kelly Price's internet and went on Twitter and acted a damn fool. Now, why these babies got up here and started acting silly, I don't know. But basically what had ended up happening was, basically Simon Bennett, our executive producer, he likes to comment on things on Twitter. Like he likes to be helpful and he likes to explain things to the people. You know what I'm saying? So that people can have a better insight into what it takes to create a Power Ranger series, right? Mm-hmm. So basically how it all started was people were, like he was chiming in on some things, and basically a picture of Pato Ranger, Luma Ranger versus Pato Ranger popped up. And they were like, kind of was giving kind of like this thing of like, well, wondering, okay, is this one going to be, the next season to come about? Like, is this going to be the next new thing? Like, what's the tea, right? And it was basically between Pato Ranger, Luma Ranger versus Pato Ranger and Q Ranger. Like, those are the main two top contenders of, of the show. Well, not the show, but of the potential show. And basically, Simon Bennett shut it all down and was just like, one person basically posted a picture of Luma Ranger versus Pato Ranger and was like, I'm going to choose Luma Ranger versus Pato Ranger that needed to be adapted as well. Simon Bennett comments and says, Rangers as cops, problematic in today's climate. Rangers as robbers, problematic as Rangers can't be criminals. Which, yes.
I mean,
I appreciate
I can see what he was saying.
I appreciated that first part.
Me too. But the robber part, Jack was a robber. Will was a robber.
Well, technically speaking, Will was not a robber.
Technically, he was a jewel thief, right?
He was a jewel thief. Technically,
what's the difference? He's still stealing.
Right.
Yeah. He paid to steal.
I guess it's not like a proper title, but whatever, same diff.
I mean, yes, he is a jewel thief, but I guess for Will, he wasn't, because if I'm thinking correctly, he was a jewel thief, but he only broke into places to actually test their security systems. If I'm thinking correctly. Now, I could be wrong because I haven't seen Operation Overdrive in a while, but I thought that was his job.
No.
Was to like break into places and like actually like, because that's how he got the little communicator thing from Mac's dad on the first episode. He was like, right. I thought I was supposed to be, stealing something, some kind of diamond for the museum or something like that. So he was trying to like steal it back for the museum. So it wasn't like he was like stealing to like steal and get money. It was more so like it was something else.
I'm gonna pause you there. Do you remember that one episode where he faked being quote unquote evil and he joined the evil side and they basically got so mad at him? They're like, you'll never change. you're always going to be that thief.
Yeah. But that's because he was tricking them, though. Like, but not really so much of like.
They didn't know that he was tricking them.
Right, but it wasn't so much of like he wasn't out. Like once again, I don't remember the show very well. But what I'm saying,
they called him a thief. Is what I'm trying to get at. They said,
I understand what you're getting at, but like my thing is, I don't necessarily call him a thief as in the thief that what they're implying here. He's not your thief of just like, oh, I'm just going to steal and then I'm selling to like a third party to get coin off of. Like, it's not that. Like, yes, he is a thief, but, and I guess you can look at it as just as like the basic bare thing of, yeah, he's a thief. But to me, thieves have a negative connotation to it, where it's like, oh, you're stealing to do X, Y, and Z for your own purposes. Whereas with Will, in this case, Will always stole for things to benefit the people who he was stealing it for, which was like stealing back things for the museum, for their museums, because it was stolen from them, or testing their community systems, their communication systems, or something like that. But he never actually stole to sell to get money back,
because he's stealing it back from the other person who stole it from the first person to begin with, right?
Well, I mean, they should have never stole it to begin with. He's just playing the middleman.
Too wrong, don't make it right.
I mean, I'm definitely not trying to take up for him. But I just feel like the connotations of a thief in this case, and what Simon was implying, versus a thief of what Will was, I don't think they're the same thing. If that makes any sense. Like, I don't think they're the same. Like, I think, like, yes, they both are thieves, but they're both different. Now, if it was a situation where if he did entertain the idea of the show and was like, yes, we might can do X, Y, and Z, and we might switch it around, they could do it that way. Because, I mean, technically, if you really think about it, like, even the Dino Fury Rangers are thieves. If you really think about it, they're thieves too. Really think about it. So, I mean, there's ways to work around it, but just to actively say, especially with the Lupin Ranger feel of them being thieves, that carries a negative connotation. And that's what I think Simon Bennett was getting at, is the negativity behind, oh, these are thieves. And they're stealing. That is what I think he was getting at. Not so much of the inner workings of what they're stealing it for and their motives behind it. Because in actuality, if you like on Lupin Ranger versus Fatal Ranger, they actually were stealing. Like, that was their job. Their jobs were like thieves. So technically they were bad guys. They were bad, quote unquote, because they were stealing and they were actually stealing things that they shouldn't be. I'm getting too much into the show, but in the grand scheme of things, technically, the Lupin Rangers were anti-heroes. They weren't actually like good guys. Mm-hmm. So that's what I think Simon Bennett was actually getting at. Mm-hmm. That's what I think it was. It was just like, it was more so like the Pato Rangers are what you would call like the good guys, because they're the cops. But once again, cops are, in today's climate, not a good thing. So it's like, okay, and people keep saying, okay, well, they did SPD. I hear you, but SPD was also over 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have that same negativity as they do that at that time now. It's not the same. It's not. It's not. To
I
us,
guess depending on who you were. Yeah, depending on who you were. Yeah. But now we just have learned so much more,
Right. So, right. Like blacks, yes, cops have always been, ill. But
yeah, it's kind of like that. Oh my God, what is it? For that time. For the Time Force time period, so that was 01. For the SPD time period, 05, it was just kind of like a different time compared to now, where we're just, we learn more about that. So it doesn't look good to make that look like that's the be all end all good thing when we know there's a lot of corruption there.
Right. And that's the thing. That's the thing about it, is just like, now if there was a way for them to tell that story, you know what I'm saying, and have,
they ain't ready for all that.
They ain't ready for that. Like, you're exactly like, Power Rangers isn't ready to really tell that kind of a story. Like, that's not it. Like, Power Rangers, we still treading on the backs of Sheriff Skyfire from Ninja Steel. So, we still got a lot of growth to do here. So Power Rangers is really not that show to really handle a theme like cops and robbers to me. I just don't see it. Like, and plus, like you said, Rangers as robbers. Yeah, no, that's mad problematic. So I can see how that can be a thing. And plus, too, like I said, they were anti-heroes. So really, they were actually fighting the main good guys in the show, which were the Paddle Rangers. They were fighting them. And a lot of times they would get into like mad square offs where they were like shooting at each other. So why are we? I'm sorry, but I really don't see Power Rangers shooting other Rangers. Like, it's like they're like legit going like gun battles after each other, and I'm like, yeah, no, this wouldn't work. So yeah, that was one thing that that Simon Bennett was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that, right? So. The next one was Q Ranger. People had problems with that one too. So Ranger Hype retweeted, if Q Ranger should be adapted into Power Ranger. A person commented and said, should have been instead of Dino Fury. Adapt Q Ranger for 2021-2022 season. Hold Dino Fury off for the 30th anniversary in 2023. Simon Bennett went and commented and said, too many Rangers in Q Ranger. Then the person commented back again and was like, I'm going to say it again. Dino Supercharge had 10 Rangers. 2 more wouldn't be an issue. Now, also, this goes back to what I was telling everybody else before. The same person also went back later in the thread and was like, he'd never actually ever even seen Dino Supercharge. He never even seen it. Here's the part that I was telling everybody before. Here's what I was telling everybody before the show actually even started. So in Q Ranger has 12 Rangers. They start out with the core 5, which was red, black, blue, yellow, and green. Right? Okay. As the show kept going, they kept introducing brand new characters. So they introduced gold and silver. Then they introduced and then they also introduced orange. They also introduced pink. And their mentor also became a Ranger as well. He became purple. And they also introduced this little kid who became the cyan one or whatever. And then later on, there is another Ranger who came in and he was like another Red Ranger. So they're introducing like a crap ton of Rangers, right? Okay. Here's the problem with that. So remember I said that the core 5 was red, black, blue, yellow, and green. Well, yellow and green were never actually even in the show that often, because what will happen is they would go on these side missions and normally red would go, and then it would be red and then a certain select group of other Rangers that normally never included yellow and green. Pink became a Ranger, but she was like the driver of the ship. So in actuality, she's too busy to drive the ship to actually be a Ranger. So you only ever see her morph like 2 or 3 times because she's too busy piloting the ship. Their mentor, he becomes like the purple one. Well, he's never really around because he's too busy on the ship. So it's like, the main people who actually get things to do a lot of the time is red, orange, blue, silver, and gold. And occasionally black, because black did have a storyline. And then the new Red Ranger when he came in. But for the most part, the main show was basically about Lucky, the Red Ranger. So in actuality, to be truthfully honest, there's really no way for them to actually tell the story in the way that they're trying to tell Power Rangers now. There really isn't a way for them to actually tell the story without them making it somewhat episodic, where it's just like, oh, the daily adventures of them riding around in space, going to different planets. Like, that's really the only way that they could probably tell the story, which, like, let's just call a spade a spade. Let's just be honest. We hate that kind of style of storytelling, especially in these newer seasons. Because remember, we got that style of storytelling in Megaforce, and remember how we all complained about that. We can't stand it. So it's like there really is no way for them to tell that story without it being kind of like just a voyage, an episodic voyage of just their everyday adventures. That's really the only thing you can do with this, in my opinion, because it's just too many Rangers to try to like nail down one story and be like, yeah, we're gonna explore this character. We're gonna explore this character. We're gonna explore this character. And it's like, it's too many characters to explore. Way too many. Somebody's gonna get left behind. And in the Japanese version, even in Q Ranger, they got like green and yellow didn't have no storyline whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like in two minds about it. One, they wouldn't necessarily have to follow the Sentai story.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing with that is they would have to do a lot of American footage, and we know, like in the history of Power Rangers, that they like to be cheap. So like it's rare that they will do a season that's nearly all American or non-Sentai footage. Like we've gotten that a couple of times, but it's rare because they like to save their money. So
right,
it's possible that they could do that, but you just never know. The new direction that they're going in, you just never know. Like it could be something that they do, but you never know. And then on the other hand, if they were going to go more drawing inspiration from the Sentai, to go with what Mr. Bennett said, he mentioned how there's a lot more that goes into crafting the season than we're aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So like selecting the season, there's a whole, like it's not necessarily even up to him. It's Hasbro, it's the network. There's a lot of different things that play. And that's something that honestly, I didn't even think about that before he mentioned that. And I don't think, obviously, the people that were going back and forth with him didn't think of that either. So, like I absolutely understand where he's coming from in that regard too.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing with there's two things that I'm going to mention. One of them is the idea of like, and all of these hypotheses that I'm saying, all of these things are just my opinion, just because based on the shows that I've seen, because I've seen all of them. So like, I'm just going based off of what he's saying and also drawing my own conclusions. But so I just want to make that clear. But the thing is, I guess for especially what Simon Bennett is saying, he's giving people kind of like a summary in a sense. Like he's summarizing the reason as to why these seasons can't be done, right? He's just summarizing them. Like, for example, when he was like, Power Rangers can't be, criminals and police, and Power Rangers as police as of now have, that is kind of problematic in today's climate. I'm pretty sure Simon Bennett on his own did not come up with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure it was multiple conversations with different people in different departments, there's more than one cog in the wheel. Just because he's executive producer, that doesn't mean that, he's the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what that means. Like, there's multiple people that works behind him in crafting the show. So when he's giving these statements of like, well, this is the reason why this won't work or whatever, I feel like people have to realize it's like, well, also he's saying this, but he's saying this from a place of the fact that he's already had these conversations with the people that he need to have the conversations with, and they've all come up with the thing of saying, yeah, this ain't gonna work. They all agreed that this isn't going to work because of this thing. So it's just kind of like when it was just like the comments of just like mad people just constantly just being like, well, you could just rework it like this, and you could do this, and they're giving out all these ideas of how he could change the show to make it work, and all of this. And it's like, babies. First of all, even if he wanted to do this, and even if he really liked your idea, which I'm not even gonna lie to you, a lot of those ideas are terrible. I mean, I'm just saying. But even if he liked your idea, 9 times out of 10, he can't use it. Because, like, first of all, like, legally, he can't use it. And secondly, like I said, some of them ideas were bad. So it's like, if you don't like something, it's okay to disagree, but disagree respectfully. Like, I mean, it was just like they were really coming at him like hardcore, and people were just throwing out random ideas and being like, oh, they need to do it like this and you do it like that. And what you're not realizing is what you're ultimately doing is, even if you had a chance of actually seeing those shows in the near future, you probably won't, because even if those ideas were actually good, they probably won't be able to use them. Or maybe they probably wanted to use those ideas for the show. And now that you've, thrown that out there as like a possibility, they may not be able to ever use it again. So, it's more so of like, okay, you can disagree, but just disagree and move on. Like, that's it, but just all the, oh, you're a terrible EP and you don't know what you're doing and all this stuff. It's like, none of y'all have ever ran a show before. Seriously, it was way too much. I'm like, none of y'all have ever ran a show before. You don't know how to craft this show. All you know is you have actors, Japanese footage, American footage, Zord footage, actors. That is all you know. You don't know what it took to actually get to where they need to go. You don't even know the first thing about treatments. You don't know anything about actually crafting shows. You don't know anything. So to sit there and actually talk like you know what you're talking about is just like, come on, y'all. Y'all doing the most. So it was a lot of that. But the main thing that I actually wanted to get to was there are other seasons out there can be used. So, I sent the group, the main ones that are left, the main bit that are left. And the ones that are left other than Q Ranger and Lupin versus Pat are as follows. So Zhuoger, I know Will was like ill. Zhuoger, if you guys don't. Ooh, what was that?
Sorry, I was trying to bring up the pictures, and the Instagram brought up a video. My
bad. Okay. Let me take that back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so first we have Zhuoger. Now, Will did not like Zhuoger. It is the one with the cubes, the little cubes. So talk to me. Like, what do y'all think? Like, do y'all think that Zhuoger is given? Like,
okay, I want to ask you, Brennan, which would you want to see adapted that is possible? And what
is possible?
Storyline? Yeah, and what is the storyline?
Now, the only one that I honestly, oh child. Okay, so I actually mentioned this in the chat. So honestly, to be truthfully honest with you, I ain't gonna hold you. Kira Major. Kira Major is the one that I think that should be adapted next. And somebody on Twitter actually made it make a lot of sense. And I was like, holy shit, that would actually be bomb as hell. Basically, they were like, have it be a sequel to Zeo. Because Kira Major actually deals with crystals and all of that. Like, that is the motif of the show, is crystals. And we don't know what happened to the Zeo crystals. We have no idea. So for all we know, they could be sleeping somewhere. Like, they could even follow the comic storyline where there's a whole planet full of Zeo crystals. Like, you know, there's so much that they could do with that. And I'm just like, you know what? If they were to actually do it, that would be the one that I would say, yes. Yes. Now, what would they call it? Please don't call it Super Zeo. Just don't do that. Like Power Rangers Super Zeo. No, don't do that. But yeah, like I think that would probably be the best bet for me. I'm gonna ask you guys the same question. Like, what do you guys think the next one should be, and what the potential storyline should be?
I don't even know because I don't even watch these Sentai series, but yeah.
Well, going off the picture, like, which one do you think?
Well, which one do you think should be adapted, and what is the storyline, or what you think the storyline would be if you know it?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Brandon and Kira Major just because it visually that's the best looking one in the last couple of years. I do not like the train one. The cube one's ugly. So yeah, it would have to be that one.
Is that the one with the robots, Megazord looking things, and they're all assembled each season at some point?
No, that was the last one. I didn't like that either.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I would want that one because that's
really
a great storyline. When Brennan told us last, I was really intrigued. But yes, go on.
Well, and as far as the storyline, I have no idea what a storyline would be. Like I've never really been able to, or I've never actually thought of a Power Rangers season like a concept. I guess in recent years, one of the things that I did think about was it'd be cool if they went into the space and they maybe did a season on another planet, one of the planets that we were introduced to, you know, throughout this long history, like Eltar or Aquitar or Miranoi or KO35, something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. But outside of that, I can't really think of like a story for it. I love that Zeo idea though, and that I think that would be really cool because that was one of the best seasons, and to see potentially those characters come back will be amazing because we've seen everybody back except for Tanya, so that'd be really cool to see all of them come back and like team up with this new team if they did something like that. But just visually, I would say Kira Major would be the most intriguing. But something else to think about is, you know, we heard the rumor that was never confirmed, but we heard the rumor a few years ago that Hasbro and Toei may not work together and they might do something original. That was never confirmed, but it also was never denied. So they could potentially do something completely original.
This is true. Good point. Good point. And it's funny, like I actually forgot about that, honestly. You know, if they actually did decide to step away and, do their own thing and stuff. I would actually like that a lot more, to be honest. I would actually probably like that a lot more because, let's just face it, right? Like, if they were to actually do their own thing, their own show, like, it probably wouldn't be, they wouldn't be restricted, you know? They wouldn't be restricted. They wouldn't have, all these extra things to worry about. They wouldn't have to worry about, Sentai footage and all this stuff. They could just come up with whatever ideas they want to come up with and go on about their day. So at the end of the day, it works out. So I actually prefer that idea of them just like actually doing their own thing. But should they, continue on with Super Sentai as of right now, should they, keep doing it, I think the Cure Major one is probably the best one for now. And honestly, just looking at the way Super Sentai is going, like, I'm not watching Zenkaiger, the one that I think Lena is talking about, the one with the robots. I'm not even watching that one because, as of right now, it's just like, it just doesn't interest me. It's just like I've only seen a couple episodes and it's corny. Like, it's the most. But a lot of fans love it. A lot of fans love it because they're doing a whole lot of tributes to like past teams. And that's really the only reason why people like those types of seasons, because they do tributes. But the show itself is just horrendous. Like, it's terrible. If they were to do something like that, like in the way that Super Sentai is going right now, the route they're going, they're trying to do some off the, out of the ordinary kind of stuff. And Power Rangers has like a specific formula, like Power Rangers, it just has a specific feel, something that just feels Power Rangers. And I do kind of feel like Super Sentai is trying to break away from that and do different things. And I guess trying to rebrand themselves. And I don't know if Power Rangers is gonna follow that route or not. I don't know. It's this weird. It's a weird time right now. So I'm trying to see what's going to happen with Toei after Zenkaiger, but I'm also trying to see what Power Rangers is actually going to think about doing in terms of like them doing their own thing with Hasbro. Because, like you said, it may be true that they might end up separating and going and doing their own thing. So, it may happen. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. But as of right now, I would definitely say Cure Major for sure. The only thing that I'm like, the only thing that I'm just kind of like with Cure Major is their monsters of the day looked crazy. Like, their monsters of the day, I'm gonna send y'all a picture of the monster of the day of Cure Major right now.
Thank you. What?
It looks like Humpty Dumpty grew a body.
This reminded me of oh my god, Dire Ranger.
Yes,
like they're monsters.
Yes,
or at least they're grunts, but with different helmets.
That is what Cure Major's villains are giving. Like, that's what their monsters of the day look like.
Oh my god. Is this a freaking tub of glue?
Yes. Yes.
That's
a refrigerator.
Wow.
Yes, that is what it's given. Like, they look fucking crazy. So that's why I'm just like,
That's something will give you nightmares, especially as a kid.
Yeah, I think
anything, right? Anything with a cape and a weird face would give me a nightmare.
Well, good point. Good point. When you put it like that, that's a good point. Like anything with a cape and an ugly face would give anybody nightmares.
Right.
So hey, you know what?
As a child, like that's actually, I think that's probably what they're going after, and they actually succeeded. As an adult, obviously, we're like, what the frick is happening?
Seriously,
what is that? You know? So I'm just saying, like, I remember, do y'all remember like Goosebumps and like,
oh yeah,
like those
well,
scenes?
yeah,
Anything with the cape is creepy. It's just creepy. I don't know why. It just was.
girl.
You know,
yes.
so
that is what it's giving. That is what it's giving.
Especially the last one with the broomstick. Is that a refrigerator?
Yes, it's a refrigerator. That's what I'm saying. Like, this show is weird. And that's why I'm just like, I fuck with Jeanmarie, but those villains though, like they look crazy.
Oh my god.
So I'm just like, I mean, hey, if they want to do it, then cool.
So the last two, is it glue or paint? Or is it one of each?
They could be one of each. I mean, I don't
know.
That
was like mustard. That other one looked like mustard. Or
it has two different colors. Like the first one you sent us is like a red suit with the purple cape. The second one is a black suit with a red cape. And they have similar heads, but different colors. It looks like they're almost opposite of each other.
They might be. I can't remember the monsters completely, like exactly what they were, but or exactly what the storyline was behind them. But I think they're related in some way, I believe. But
oh, okay. So what about the two-headed face? What is that?
I'm sorry, what now?
The two-headed face?
The two-headed one?
The second monster you sent us. What is that?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. It's just like
it got blings though. He got blings on him.
I have no idea.
Wait, is that a marshmallow?
Oh my god!
Yes, that one is a marshmallow, and that one is a game controller.
See what?
Ew, and it looks like he got a boner.
He does look like he got a boner. Oh my god! And the other, so the marshmallow does look pudgy. It suits him.
And the second one is a video game controller. Yeah, a joystick.
That's so weird.
I mean,
that looks cool.
It does. I don't know.
That's so strange.
I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like because like we haven't seen the show ourselves, so like. But what I will say is, I will probably watch it now just so I can see what these monsters are all about.
They're actually, and the thing is, I'm not gonna hold you. Jeanmarie actually is very.
Why does that look like a JJ?
It's a tooth.
Oh my god!
It's a rotten tooth.
That was like my first reaction. It looks like a JJ with things sticking out of it, but I realized it
looks So right? Like the tooth, the shell of the tooth came off, and you see like the insides, and it has a tail.
Yes.
Sticking out of its eye.
Right. Like this is
kind
of
fuck.
Yeah, because these pictures are wild of these monsters. So if you have never seen Jeanmarie, like those would be the kind of monsters that we probably get if they do bring it to the United States. Yeah. Like these would be the monsters that we get. So and I mean, and to think about it though, like if you really honestly think about it, Jeanmarie was smart in the way that they did this. Because monster suits, whole body monster suits, they get damaged a lot when they get sent to the United States. So these are just spandex suits. These are just black, red, and gold colored spandex suits. And all they're doing is they're just putting the monster heads on the suits. So it's actually kind of genius when you think about it. It's kind of genius. Because it's like the actual monster heads probably won't sustain that much damage. So they could probably like hold on to it and like, keep them from falling apart much longer. So it's actually kind of smart. I was like, oh, I just thought of that. It's kind of cool. So yeah, that is Jeanmarie and Jeanmarie's monsters.
Interesting.
So yeah, I think Jeanmarie may work. That's just me. I think it work.
I guess just to the fans, we're all passionate about Power Rangers. Obviously, grown-ups love this.
We have a whole podcast on it.
Yeah. So at the same time, you have to remember that the people working on this, whether they're showrunners, executive producers, writers, they're doing, even though sometimes we don't get the best seasons, they are working hard at this. And a lot of the things that are happening aren't necessarily their faults. They answer to people way higher than them. So they're, with whatever constraints they have, they are doing their best to work within them. So just try to have that understanding before you hit up their spot on Twitter or wherever and insult them. Because there's a lot more to the story than you know, and it's just not cool to do that.
Honestly, though, I will say this. It is so much easier for us to be on the internet with our thumbs or our fingers or whatever you are using to compute these messages out. It's so much easier for you to sit there and say that. But for you to actually do anything about it, like just like Will said, is a lot harder. So be kind. Just be kind. And there's no need to be worked up and attack people for just doing their job. We don't need to be Karens here, okay? People are
no, that's exactly what you're being.
You're right.
Oh
no, you're being a PR Karen, okay? There is
not a PR Karen.
I mean, no. I mean, that's literally what y'all being. So stop being a PR Karen. Let them people do their job and trust that they know how to do their job. And you know what? If you don't agree with it, well, my dear, you can too create a podcast or a YouTube channel or a blog or a vlog to express your opinions in a positive, constructive way.
Agreed. Agreed. And it's also funny that you said that, Will, about them having to answer to a lot of people. This just goes back to what I want to say it was Melissa Flores who tweeted it, and I think Simon co-signed. But basically what they've been saying was they've been trying to push for LGBTQ characters in Power Rangers for years. Like they've been trying. This is not like Izzy is not something new that they did or that they were trying to curate. Like they've been really trying to push this show to have LGBTQ identifying characters, but for some strange reason,
okay,
they just kept getting shut down. So now that we have a brand new showrunner and basically all the people are gone, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I think. Listen, I'm not gonna say it on the show, but meet me in the DMs. But I have an idea on why.
No,
I just don't like to be like caught off guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of these things sometimes do be catching me off guard, and I'll be like, "What is this? Where is this coming from?" And then all of a sudden, that's when I'm like, "Wow!" Like. I turned into, Catherine Hillard when she turned into the cat and, start making little weird cat puns. And I have on a whole like brassiere and all of that good stuff with a cat outfit. So like,
wow.
So, it get a little dicey in the chat. But speaking of dicey, so Turner and Hooch though.
Yes. Okay. Before we start, I just saw this on Brennan's not our Brennan, but Brennan J. McLaren's Instagram, and I want to read this to you all before we get started.
Okay.
It is related to Brennan. So he's actually on a TV series tonight called The Rookie. I'm sure half of us have already missed it, but that's okay. Not the point. Brennan and I quote, says, "If you like television and if you like crime, watch me crime hard on television tonight." Sorry, that made me laugh, so I had to share. So that was the end of that quote. Crime hard. You, sorry.
That really tickled you, damn.
It really did, because I'm over here like, I don't get it, but okay. I was really sitting here waiting like, where is it? Where is it? But I'm so glad you loved it. I'm so glad you loved it.
I don't know why. It just made me laugh. So I was like, I had to share that. For those of you who may get it, well, laugh with me. If not, that's okay. That's okay. I'm fine laughing on my own too. I got it. I think what made me laugh was the fact that he does a lot of like cop related or like
I was just thinking that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, detective-ish. So I think that's why I was like crime hard. Like, what? What do you mean? Crime hard. So I guess it just got me laughing. Anyways, with that being said, which is why we're talking about Turner and Hooch. Turner and Hooch is actually a action comedy TV series that's based off the 1989 film with the same title that's only exclusive on Disney Plus. So, for those of you who do not know, and I find that a lot of people, for some strange reason, need a reminder, but Brennan J. McLaren is also known as Jack Landers in Power Rangers SPD as the Red Ranger. In this particular series, he plays Xavier Watkins, a Marine turned U.S. Marshal who develops a soft spot for Hooch. I mean, who can't love Hooch? Like, he's adorable, in spite of being a cat lover. Now, again, picture Brennan J. McLaren as a cat lover. Oh, at least his character, anyways. I just can't. I just really can't. But, and then, then he's, yeah. And I will leave that joke alone now. But.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
I will leave. I'm trying way too hard to try to get anything out of you guys. It's just not. It's okay. We'll leave it. We will leave it.
Wow.
I promise you. I'm not drinking. I'm not high. I promise you. Oh, okay. Anyways, Xavier, the character, we are going to do a review of 2 episodes tonight. I, however, did end up watching the entire season 1. I absolutely love it. And for those of you who will start watching, Brandon's character does make more of an appearance towards the end of the season. He is one of the main leads. And what else? Yeah, his character is very chill. I like him. But I wanted to now hand it back to you guys so that I can stop with my crime hard joke.
Oh my goodness.
Well, the first episode, definitely, you didn't really see too much of him. You just got a I guess an introduction to his character. The show stars from Drake and Josh as the title character. Is. Yeah, doesn't he different?
He's older. That's what it is.
Very different.
He's older. He lost weight. He's in his 30s. He's a father now. Like, he's really a whole ass person since Drake and Josh. And the only thing I can't figure out is why he squints so much in this season. Like, or maybe it's just his thing. But yeah, I don't remember him squinting that much in Drake and Josh. But that's the one thing I did notice about him in this show, and it kind of bothered me. But yeah, and you know who else is in it? Okay, maybe you will remember this because I feel like you and I had a conversation. But do y'all remember a show called Student Body?
No. Oh my God, I'm remembering the theme song.
Yeah, student body.
Yes. It used to, yeah. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Wow. Yes.
So do you remember the girl on rollerblades, Vanessa, that was always rollerblading around?
Oh God.
Her older sister was a Morgan. She was this like really gorgeous, short hair, red lips, gorgeous ass girl. And they all did a radio show. And the little girl with pigtails rollerbladed around. She was like so skinny, so tiny. Anyways, it's relevant to the show, I promise. The reason why I brought her up is because she's actually in Turner and Hooch. She is Turner's dog trainer. She has a huge crush on him.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go. Full circle of life. Student body.
Wait, this was in the first 2 episodes that we watched?
Yeah.
Or is this down
Girl.
the line?
Yes.
The girl that has a crush on Turner.
Oh, okay. Yes. Her. Okay.
And it's mutual. It's a mutual thing. They just are really awkward. Especially him.
I've seen the episodes. It's not mutual.
Oh.
Why do you want to spoil me?
Sorry to ruin that for you. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Well, that's God damn.
At least not in season 1 anyways. It's not mutual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
oh yeah, let's backtrack a little bit. So basically, Turner inherits a dog named Hooch because his father passed away, and his father left his kids a variation of things. And the daughter, who is Hooch's sister, believes she inherited a bunch of case files that was found in her basement, was it, or in his basement? I don't really recall.
I think it was they were at their parents' house.
Oh, okay. So she's now on a case hunt to try to solve the father, who's also a marshal or detective of some sort. And I guess he was following a lead right before he died. And Hooch was actually part of that lead. So Hooch has been inherited to the son, Turner. And Turner, he's very OCD, very anal, very clean, he likes his life to be together, and he likes to know what the next steps are. And he's one of those, not in a bad way when I say this, overachiever, just really goal-orientated, seeker, does the whole, like, I am worth it, I am worthy mantra in the morning. That's just who he is. So he inherits his dog, and his dog essentially turned his life entirely upside down. He doesn't know what to do. He's trying to give it back, but his sister is like, well, I already got way too many pets to take care of your dog, and plus it's your dog, not my dog, and plus I have a child. He does have a nephew. And so he brings his dog to work because he doesn't know what else to do with it. And then during his work situation, there was a crime. Now you guys are gonna have to help me out because I watched all the episodes, so I'm gonna get confused as to which crime was what. What was the first season's crime again? I mean, the first episode.
The first episode. If I remember,
First episode was the boss. I think it was like his superior or somebody like was trying to crooked. Yeah, he was crooked and he was trying to do his own thing, and they ended up capturing one of the dudes, and I guess one of the dudes was working for him, and then they found him at like a warehouse, and that's how they discovered that it was their police superior working as a was a double agent, like he was doing his own little
thing. Hooch was the one to like plant that seed into Turner's head because he was like, like a dog can sense
things,
a bad person,
right?
When the vibes are off. So he noticed it with that cop,
right?
Yeah. So basically, I guess at the end of it, after Hooch has helped solve a pretty big case, his boss allow him to keep the dog as part of his partner, as part of the canine unit, as long as he brings it down to their canine unit for some training, where he decides to, where he then meets what's her name now? Jeez, I want to call her Vanessa, but I know that's not her name. Ooh, I can't remember.
I do not remember her name.
I don't remember.
Erica.
There we go. I was just gonna say it was like some kind of another very typical name, but yes, Erica. Where he then meets Erica, an angel. The angel's the dog, her dog, and she obviously agrees to help Turner train Hooch, and he does start to rely heavily on her in terms of like getting her to help Hooch help him solve cases. So she does become a really important part of the series.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say beforehand, I just want to say, first of all, that's some bull on how he ended up getting that dog, because ain't no way in hell you about to drop some dog at my doorstep and be like, all right, bye. Are you serious? When I tell you I was enraged, it was like a specific kind of rage that I got. That I was just like,
but
I would have been a lot more mad with my sister if she would have done some mess like that. Like we would have been fighting.
It came with a letter though. It was from your father though.
Well, I don't give a good goddamn who that letter came from. Like, it could have came from Jesus for all I care. You will not drop no doggone dog on my doorstep. Not when I have my place all pristine and beautiful and perfect. And this dog basically just makes a massacre all over the place. Absolutely not.
He had a nice vacuum. Not. And those like self vacuums are really fucking expensive. So, but still, like it's
nah.
Like how cute he is.
I'd have been like, so to the pound you go. I am so sorry. It would have been one of them situations where like, I can't take care of this animal. I am so sorry. Can y'all find this baby a home? Because ain't no way in hell I would have took that dog. Nope.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be happy, but my doors are open to all animals who are being abandoned by their owners. Not literally.
Mine aren't.
Not literally though. So don't actually bring me your pets.
Mine aren't. Like, nope.
I mean, if I win the lottery, sure. If I have the space in the lottery for it, sure.
Absolutely not. I can have the space. I can have the space and I still be like, nope.
So then so this is where we don't really get to see Brennan McLaren's character, but episode 2 I'm gonna let you guys more. Yeah, I'm gonna let
we did see him at the beginning. We saw him when they at the elevator.
It was
he popped in and was like, a little piece of like, hey, how you doing? Like shooting the shit kind of a thing, and then that was it.
You know what I like about his character based on what we know of him so far? He just has this like mysterious air of coolness to him. Like you don't know him. He's just so chill. He just kind of goes with things. Like he's just so vibey, very like, so what does your heart tell you should do? Like that kind of dude, But yeah.
I fucks with him. I like him. Like, right? In that first episode, I thought he was pretty cool.
But no one liked him. Like, everyone in the hospital just did not like him. So I couldn't figure out why.
In this one, there's some, it's like a big, like a conference of nation leaders at a hotel. And they got intel that there may be some sort of attack there. So they have the 3 main cops. They weren't even they were kind of on like a babysitting duty. Turner in particular, he actually literally had to babysit a diplomat's child, his daughter, and then was it Xavier and Jessica. I really like Jessica. She's a pregnant detective, but she's not on the team yet. I really like her. But those
I'm just like, that's dangerous for you to be preggo.
I know. She's pretty pregnant.
Like she's pregnant. Like, I mean, ain't no hiding that.
With a bulletproof vest over pregnant belly.
I'm like, Lord, no.
First
Get
of
this
all-
baby, put this baby on desk duty.
Right? First of all, I'm surprised that the bulletproof vest fit over her belly.
Like, come on. You know that thing was like probably specially ordered just for her. Was like, all right, so let's go ahead and measure the circumference of your belly so this thing can fit properly over you. Like, oh no, no ma'am.
So Jessica and Xavier, they're in charge of watching the door. So long story short, it does turn into a terrorist attack, and the Xavier and Jessica are taken hostage with the rest of the diplomats and the regular patrons. And all the while, Turner, he is still taking care of one of the diplomat's daughters in a suite upstairs. He gets word and he has to basically single-handedly, well, I guess maybe not single-handedly because he has help from Hooch, take out all of the like the henchmen. Do you remember? I know like he got some assistance to like find them. How do you do it again?
The dog? Wait, are you talking about like rewind a little bit more?
Turner, how did he navigate to like to attack and take out all of the henchmen? I can't
He
remember exactly.
remember he had took out all of the
cameras.
security, the cameras, security cameras.
I mean, he was pretty smart for somebody who's like, seems like he still got that Drake and Joshiness to him, but
he's very aloof.
Yeah.
He's very aloof. And it's like, I mean, I found that episode to be particularly like, I felt like that one showed him in a much better light than the first one did. Because in this one, it actually does show that he's actually somewhat good at his job.
Right.
Because the first one just made him seem like he was just completely incompetent.
Yes.
But this episode really showed, okay, like he's actually smart and he knows what he's doing, kind of a thing. Because not gonna lie, like him taking out the security cameras and actually like, you know, getting them away from the captured people, that was genius. Like how he was doing it, it was smart. It was smart of him to do. Now, granted, he's not the best fighter in the world because it took him forever to take that one dude out. But like, I mean, you know, he's not the best fighter, but he is smart.
Right. Hey, what is the definition of a U.S. Marshal?
A U.S. Marshal, aren't they like they're like specifically trained to handle certain situations? Like they're like, because I know I want to say, or am I getting the mix with Navy SEALs? Because like I know U.S. Marshals, don't they fly on airplanes too?
That's what
they're like specifically trained to do.
Here it is. The U.S. Marshals is the enforcement arm of the federal courts. The U.S. Marshals is responsible for court security, seeking fugitives, serving arrest warrants, and engaging in prisoner transport.
Oh.
Okay, so he knows quite a bit for a U.S. Marshal. Like,
so that's what old dude is.
Yeah, so basically, like that's why I was surprised because I'm like, I thought that they don't do any of that stuff. Like, I thought he was more so he seemed more like a cop to me than a U.S. Marshal.
Yeah, I got that too.
That's why I got confused. That's what I'm asking because I was like, that's why I was like, guys, what does that mean? Because I thought. Because at one point I thought he was a cop. Like I genuinely thought he was a cop until they're like, oh, until he reminded his sister at some point later on that he's not a cop and that they can get Gelato for what they were doing. But anyways, that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, like this is why I'm asking because like I'm like, wait, I felt like him and his team did way too much for somebody that's not quote unquote cops. So
well, yeah, like I mean, like I don't know. It's weird because if he's supposed to be a U.S. Marshal, then in terms of like training, then it wouldn't make sense for him to have some sort of tactical training.
Right. But he knows
it would make sense.
But he knew a little more than he should have.
I wouldn't say should have. I mean, isn't he like how long did it say he's been a US Marshal?
Job? Like not long at all. Like with it, like
not long.
Not long at all. No. Like he was he was okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a little bit more of an insight. So he was hung up on this girl that he met like 5 years ago. And they went on a date. She was like some kind of like lawyer or whatever, a law student, whatever. Bottom line is he embarrassed himself with her and things didn't work out. So then he's been working really hard on proving himself to her. I know, old dude spent 5 years, like just not getting over this girl. So he finally made it. He finally got to where he is, like where we see him. And so that's why I was kind of like, wow, you're I don't know, like it goes back and forth on his level of skills. So I get really confused throughout the whole season because like I thought he just got that job, and he literally just specified he just got the job. And then later on there is an episode where he quote unquote skipped the line because he got a case when he shouldn't have. Because like you're supposed to earn the case. And he didn't earn the case. He just happened to know some people in high places that basically made a request for him to be on the case. And so they were like, you're not ready.
Got you.
There was like a lot, there was like a lot where, and that's why I'm asking, because like, I obviously didn't know until just now what a U.S. Marshal was, like fully knew what it was. And throughout the whole season, I think the show itself is also confused as to what he's supposed to be too.
Got it.
Yeah, I'll say that much. Like I think the show is also confused. So
there was a really cool part where Jessica and Xavier, they were like in a main hall, and they were tied up.
Yeah, in the conference hall.
And when they were able to get themselves how they got themselves free was pretty cool. To see Brandon actually be able to it was so cool. Like he only was able to use his feet to incapacitate one of the terrorists.
Yeah.
And him and Jessica, they kind of like double teamed them, and then they were able to get free. I love that part. That was so
Me
cool.
too. I really love how coincide and so moving in one, whatever that term is, like that they even speak about it, like they just kind of knew what the other person was gonna do. And the fact that she's still pregnant, okay guys, she's wearing a whole bulletproof vest, and she's like, I know exactly what you mean. It reminded me of Power Rangers, like how they work together. I know, very like, oh, of course it would, because he's Jack, I get that. But it really did. Because I mean, Brandon though too, like for those of you who do watch Ranger actors outside of Power Rangers will also know this. Brandon does a lot of stuff. He has a huge ass filmatory list. So it's not uncommon to see him outside Power Rangers world, and it's not uncommon for us to forget the fact that he was ever in Power Rangers, because he's done so much, right? So
he finds himself being a cop a lot.
He does.
I think I mentioned this before. I watched him on the USA series Graceland, and he played an ICE agent, I believe. And this has to be like, I think most of his roles in the last,
which is like funny,
7 years or so,
because SPD is basically cops do that. So that's why when I did see that scene that you're mentioning, it did bring me back to like the whole working together, teamwork, and the whole Power Rangers vibe. I really liked it. It was cute. And I love how they both did it with a smile on their face and like just very like chillax about it, and just like, oops, sorry, didn't mean to.
Yeah. At the end, there was a moment where he was like that Zen kind of I don't know if aloof is the right word, but
Like
just nonchalant kind of.
yes,
While the other the cops that weren't there, the ones that thought that they were going to get all the action, excuse me, they kind of like took credit for what they had.
Yeah.
But Xavier was just like real cool about
oh,
it. Like, never
right.
did.
Okay, let's rewind a little bit.
Mhm.
So basically Xavier and Jessica and Turner actually got hotel duties because the fact that they were quote unquote bench. So they were actually supposed to be given like the shit role, like where like basically they didn't expect anything to happen at the hotel, while the A squad, I know, very SPD like, the A squad. What's that guy's name again? Like I want to say his name was like Travis or Jerkhead. I don't even know.
Oof. Not sure.
I'm gonna call him Jerkhead. Anyways, Jerkhead formed a team full of guys that look just like him. I swear they look like Jersey Shore kids. I don't even know. Anyway,
Child,
right?
welcome to white gay relationships.
Right? And so they all ended up somewhere else where they quote unquote thought shit was going down, and shit did not go down. Everything actually went down at the hotel. So that brings us back to where Will was saying that towards the end, the A squad, we're gonna call them, try to take all the glory for the fact that B squad didn't do anything. Or you go on, Will.
And overall, I actually so it being on Disney Plus, and the fact that it stars Josh Peck and a dog. I had in my mind that it was going to be really light and like really family friendly, but then when they started showing some of the violence that they showed in the first episode, I was like, oh, so this is actually, it's a little bit more than that.
Oh, it gets more violent. This is only the
So
beginning.
yeah, so that's very interesting how it I thought that it was going to be like a family, like something the whole family could
family
watch,
friendly.
and then it turned into a little bit more than that, and it has a bit of an edge to it, and I thought that was pretty cool.
I really like overall the combination of it, like the laughter, the seriousness, the dramaticness, just and I'm excited for season 2. I personally really liked it.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing more episodes, because this has definitely been a pleasant surprise. Because I've enjoyed the 2 episodes. And
the last episode is gonna make you want to scream, because I was like, you cannot leave me here. Like, and Brennan Mejhia's character, oh, he's just such a doll. I will say this, out of all the shows I've seen him in, I really like this character best. That much I will say.
Okay.
Oh, so at the end of towards the end of the second episode, I was so pleasantly surprised to see Reginald VelJohnson, who was Carl Winslow in Family Matters. I did not expect to see him.
Yeah. That took me by surprise. So I was like, oh, look at a familiar face. Hey. Was not expecting to see you, but hello, sir.
Yeah, and I was mentioning to Lena earlier, Laura Turner, who's oh my goodness, Scott's sister.
Yes.
This is the first time we said Turner's first name, because I forgot his first name, Scott. His sister, she Lindsay Fonseca, I think that's what I said. She was on Nakia with Maggie Q. She was like her protege sidekick. And she also was in Kick-Ass.
As who?
I was really happy to see her. I believe I think she was Kick-Ass's girlfriend. I think.
Because I I've seen Kick-Ass. I've never watched Nikita. I'm going to tell you now. I've never watched that.
Oh, I love that show. She was
Like
she
now,
was
Le Femme
key.
Nikita, yes, but Nikita, no.
It's the same thing,
It's the
but
same thing, but I hate remakes. I hate remakes. I hate them. I hate them with a
and then that
passion.
was and then like that was oh god, I'm going off on a little tangent. And then they, the Femme Nikita came from a movie. They had
Mm-hmm.
an American version and a French version, which was the original. So
Yep.
that's just like all of it is remakes. That's so
I
interesting.
mean, yes, it is, but also at the same time, it's like Le Femme Nikita just has a. It's just like it is something about that
That's the
first
one you grew up on,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, like and once again, just going back to just nostalgia and just nostalgic stuff in general, like that's the one that I grew up on, and I'm just like, and I ain't had no business watching it, but like La Femme Nikita was me and my grandma shit. So it's like when they came out with that new Nikita, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this. I'm not doing this to myself. But no, in terms of like Turner and Hooch though, like I'm gonna be honest, I like the first episode, if we're gonna rate them. The first episode for me, I didn't care for the first one too much.
Yeah, I didn't care for the first one either.
Yeah, I didn't care for the first one. I was like, okay. It wasn't bad, and it wasn't like, oh my god, this show sucks. Like it wasn't that, but it was just kind of like, okay, it's a thing. It happened. But the one that got me looking like woohoo was the second one. That was the one that made me go, oh, okay, this is actually a decent show. So if I had to rate them, I would probably together with the one and two that we saw, I would probably say I'll probably give it like a 3. Just because like I said, overall, I just feel like the second episode is the stronger episode, and also it had more of Brendan's character in it.
Oh, for sure.
Which his character is just he's so funny and just charming in general. So I was just like, I really fucks with his character a lot. So yeah, like I actually liked. I'll give it a 3. I'll definitely give it a 3. Brendan's character, Brandon. Why keep calling him Brendan? Brandon's character, I would probably say a 4.
Okay.
4 out of 5. I'll give his character a 4 out of 5. Just because, like I said, he's just charming and just so just he's silly, but at the same time, like it's like he knows what he's doing, kind of a thing.
Oh yeah.
And he's like he's extremely skilled in what he's doing. And it's like, okay, so you're not just goofy just for goofy purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like you actually are goofy and you know what you're doing. So it's like, all right,
you know what's funny? I
can do this.
I wouldn't even describe his character as being goofy. Like I personally wouldn't. Like again, this is going off of the fact that I've seen all the episodes. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say he's goofy, but
So do you think it's a situation of he's the way that he is, but the way that the show frames him they make him seem odd. They make it seem funny that he's odd.
Yes, exactly. Everyone sees him as the oddball, and everyone feels like he doesn't belong. And he's literally one of those guys where he's just like, that's fine. I don't have to belong. I am who I am. And he just kind of lets it be.
Mm-hmm.
But people see that as being odd. It's very like high schoolish, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The show does frame him to look like he's supposed to be goofier, but he does have some funny lines, but the lines that he does have, they're not meant to be funny per se.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that makes sense. And again, I don't want to give too much away because like I'm terrible that if I do, I just spill it all. So
well, yeah, because Will wants to watch the rest. So but
exactly.
What do you think?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed both of the episodes. Like I like for the first episode, like I said before, started off with what I thought was like a family friendly, light, funny type feel. And then when they introduced who was the bad guy, I guess the villain of the week for that episode, it got more violent. There were some bruises and blood and gunshots. Like actually you see the bullets and stuff, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That I think that's what got me like, oh shit, okay, let me pay attention.
You're like,
And
this is real.
yeah. And Brandon's character, Xavier, he had a really small part for that episode. And then in the second episode, like I'm already starting to feel these characters. Like I had mentioned before, the Jessica character, who's the pregnant cop, I really, really like her. The next episode to see, them get more to do, and then especially Brandon's character got to do a lot more in that episode. I really like that. And just like the whole journey of Turner and Hooch taking out all of those terrorists, not grunts, I guess you could say grunts,
Yeah, terrorist
henchmen, yeah, like taking them out using just pure intelligence and creativity to that was really cool. So I actually really enjoyed it. So am I rating both episodes together or both them separately?
both of them together as a whole, and then you're gonna rate Brandon's character as a self, and then I guess your overall experience.
Okay, yeah. So I guess for the two episodes, I give it like a 4. Like I really enjoyed myself. And then with Brandon, I want to say I feel like I'm gonna enjoy him more later. I want to give it like a 3.5, just because of how like we didn't see a bunch of him.
Yeah, it
we
wasn't
saw more of him in the second one.
Yeah,
in the second episode, but I liked what I saw, especially in the second one, because we got more. So I if I'm able to do halves, I would do like a 3.5. Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, of course. You can do whatever you want. It's our show.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, like I pretty much explained how like my overall feelings on it, like leading into it. Like it was really I like that it has like a mix of lightheartedness, but then at the drop of a hat, it can get serious. So that's pretty cool.
That's good. For me, both episodes together, I want to say it's a 4 because it really enticed me to watch, obviously, all of them. Brennan, I want to give him a 5 out of 5 because I really thoroughly enjoy his character as a whole season. And overall experience, yeah, where the fuck is season 2?
Well, where the heck is oh well shit, I missed that. That wasn't a good transition. But I tried. I was gonna try to throw something there, but no, it didn't work out. But and that's okay.
That's okay. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
It doesn't work out. It just does not work out. But you know what though? But you know what does work out? You going over and subscribing to all of us on various platforms, and also telling a friend and letting them know that does work out.
Right. You gotta do the things. You gotta show the support.
Do the things. Gotta show the support. And you know what I'm saying? Like, continue to listen. If you have any comments or questions, please make sure that you hit us in the comments.
Instagram, I know y'all very active on there with us. Yeah, like, and also for those who found me after I posted my new handle, thank you for following. I see you all. And for the most part, I follow right back.
And like Lena said, hit us up or whatever. Well, I mean, don't get too comfortable. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to follow us, you can. It's cool. But definitely do hit up Tribunal of the Grid. The link is linktr.ee/Tribunal of the Grid. You'll find all of our links there, and all our links to our SoundCloud, our own personal links, our YouTube links, everything. You'll find it all in the link. So once again, that's linktr.ee/Tribunal of the Grid. One more time for the people in the back. linktr.ee/Tribunal of the Grid. And once again, my name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
And I'm Will.
And we will see you
later.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.